Now, here are some simple ways that you could trigger the hero instinct in every man. Number one, compliment him often. Men love compliments, but emerging research has shown that they are less likely to receive such praise than women. Moreover, men are more likely to compliment women than women are to compliment men. All right. And it is so unfortunate because men deserve to be complimented, especially the good ones. Of course, we all want to be flattered. Compliment makes us feel special and appreciated. So when you're dating someone, a compliment is an easy way to send a message. Message like, I think you're really special and I want you to know that. So make a conscious effort to compliment your man and be specific if you want this praise to make a meaningful impact. For example, instead of saying you look nice today, narrow it down to, I love that shirt on you. It makes you look so muscular. Or instead of saying, you're such a good cook, try saying, I loved dinner tonight. Or you could say, that was one of the best steaks I have had in a really long time. As a caveat, always make sure that your compliments are genuine and they're appropriate for the context. Honestly, it's not helpful to overwhelm someone with praise. And furthermore, you don't want to pile it on when he's having a particularly difficult day and wants to be left alone. The truth is that excessive praise may come down to, being fake or you're not genuine enough. It can also make that person feel babied. So you don't want to run through that thin line, okay? Number two, praise him in front of others. You know what? I think that complimenting your man is important for making your man feel treasured. So you should actively strive to let him know how much he means to you often. And subsequently, when you praise him in front of others, he will feel like $1,000,000. We all have egos and we all want to be, stoked. So the next time that you're out with your family or with your friends, think about how you can brag about your partner. Of course, context is key, okay? You don't want to randomly insert praises when people are talking about an entirely different subject. This action can just come across as awkward and desperate, okay? But if someone else starts mentioning a relevant topic, you could just throw in a line about how proud you are of your man and make it known that you value him in your life and you're always impressed by his hard work and intelligence. Number three, you need to support his goals. Now, in a healthy relationship, both partners strive to be the best version of themselves, right? So you should be working to grow and improve yourselves. So the more you two focus on the task, the more satisfying your relationship is likely to be. Trust me, in a healthy relationship, both partners strive to be the best version of yourself. You should be working together to improve and grow yourselves. The more you two focus on a task, the more satisfying your relationship will likely be. Number four, encourage, manly movements. Even if you don't conform to traditional gender roles, most men like to feel strong and protective. They want to be their own hero for you and the people who matter most to them. And you can also achieve this complex in simple ways like asking him to pick up or move heavy items or open a stubborn jar. You could ask him to fix something that breaks, or you could ask him to help with manual labor around the house. You don't need to go overboard on this one, but letting your man help you will likely bring him immense satisfaction and give his self-esteem a meaningful boost. Number five, ask for his opinion. It's a good idea to regularly ask your man about his thoughts or feelings on certain issues. For one, it shows that you value his input. This action helps you become a more collaborative couple. Ladies, you need to understand that men want to feel like their opinions matter. So if you consistently make executive decisions without your man, it can breed resentment and frustration. They may feel like you don't really care about their needs. And at the same time, they might default to assuming you always know what's best. So I would advise you ladies to focus more on inclusivity in your relationship. And with that suggestion, you need to aim to actually implement his opinions when you do make decisions. So after all, if you seek help and then never take it, that will only cause him to feel pretty much annoyed or confused. Like he's giving you advice on what to do, and the next you're doing something different. Why did you even call for the advice in the first place? So if you're seeking for advice and you know that this advice has a potential of working, go on and do it. Don't go and do something different. With that, he would feel like you trust his opinion and you're including him in all of your activities. Do you get what I mean? Number 6 way for you to, activate his hero instinct is for you to embrace old-fashioned movements. You're strong and capable of taking care of yourself. I know that. And while I think that embracing your independence is crucial, there is something to be said about letting your man be a gentleman occasionally. Like, for example, are you willing to let him carry your bag or open the door? Can you give him, the groceries to hold as you leave the store? These are moments, even if they feel small or insignificant, these are moments that really matter. They help men feel like they are needed, and that helps elevate their self-esteem. Number 7, allow yourself to be vulnerable. Many a times we put on a strong front to avoid being taken advantage of by others. You might guard your emotions if you've been hurt in the past. Now, this act of self-preservation can stem from trauma, but it can also emerge if you've had relationship troubles. That said, activating the hero instinct of your man means allowing yourself to be authentic with your needs and feelings. To some extent, this requires courage. You must be willing to be vulnerable, even if it scares you. So remember, the right partner will embrace you for who you are. All right? If you feel ashamed, or if you feel shamed or rejected or judged, it could indicate a serious red flag. You might be with someone who is childish or immature. And in almost all cases, it's much better to discover this earlier than later. So understand that vulnerability can be especially important if you're normally strong and independent. If a man sees that you have it all together, he will even be more honored if he's the one who gets to see your more human side. All right. Number 8, embrace his vulnerability. Now, the hero instinct isn't just about letting a man's masculinity run wild. It's all about nurturing and respecting all parts of him. And this is especially true if he struggles with his emotions. All right. So think about it this way. Men often believe they must perform well to be worthy. Yet, at the same time, research shows that 86% of men feel pressure to be emotionally strong. And while many of them want to exceed your expectations and make you proud, they also have feelings. So if your man displays his emotion, whether that's through crying, acknowledging fear, becoming embarrassed, or calmly expressing anger, it's your job to support those emotions. You don't need to change how he feels. You don't even need to have a solution to try to fix the situation. All right. Also remember that feelings are natural reactions and we all have them. So let him know that you are there to support him however he needs. Number 9, don't be too needy. At first, this suggestion may seem counterintuitive. After all, you just learned about the benefits of letting your man help you, embracing vulnerability and asking his opinion on things. But everything must exist in moderation. You can't come across as entirely helpless if you want to have a meaningful relationship. That creates an unequal, one-sided relationship. Instead of feeling empowered to support you, your partner will likely feel burdened. That's why it's important to maintain your own independence. You should have your own activities, your own relationship and priorities. So failing to maintain these things or neglecting them once you enter into a relationship causes you to lose your identity as a person. And nothing is more unattractive than a person who has no sense of self. So instead, it's better to ask for support rather than to ask for non-stop help. So choose when you need help selectively. Give him the right opportunities to step up and shine. Don't expect him to do everything for you all the time. It's just rubbish to do that. Number 10, make it known that you're happy. In a healthy relationship, nobody needs to play games. You don't need anyone to guess how you feel. And you certainly don't want to manipulate situations to make people act in a certain way or in a particular way. So be genuine. Let him know that you're happy with him and the relationship. And then focus on your gratitude often. And be mindful of all that you appreciate about him. And don't forget that happiness isn't a fixed emotion. It's a fluctuating state. But even in a rougher moment, you can still try to find joy and meaning in what you both share. Number 11, emphasize your commitment. Don't make it a secret about how you feel. If your man is the only one for you, let him know. Take opportunities to embrace your level of commitment. Of course, you need to be mindful of going overboard with this one. For example, if you're in the beginning stages of a new relationship, it probably isn't appropriate for you to talk about how you feel like you are soulmates, all right? Likewise, you wouldn't want to tell somebody you've never really connected with that you feel some type of way about them, especially if you don't know if they feel the same way for you. But once things starts becoming more serious, it's very helpful for you to be honest with your feelings, your intentions. And when you love someone, you just let them know, all right? There is no point hiding your emotions and playing games. Or are we 5-year-olds? Number 12, respect his boundaries. Now, boundaries are an essential component of any healthy relationship. Everyone has personal limits, and you need your loved ones to respect them. Over time, if someone consistently violates your boundaries, their action would definitely trigger anger and erode trust. So what does respecting boundaries mean when it comes to your man? First, it means accepting his needs. You may not always meet them. Nobody is perfect, but you must be willing to listen to them with an open mind. For example, if your partner tends to need some space after coming home from work, I think that respecting his boundaries means you don't bombard him with questions just as he walks through the door. Keep in mind that every relationship also has its own set of boundaries. For example, some couples may find it particularly acceptable to share social media passwords with one another. However, another couple might find that boundary restrictive and invasive. It all comes down to consistent, healthy communication. You both need to be on the same page regarding what is and what is not acceptable. What works best for you may seem strange to another couple, but that's not the point. The point is that you both agree on the limits and actively work to respect whatever limits you both have. Number 13, be enthusiastic. Some men may like chasing someone who plays hard to get, but the thrill is short-lived. Men stick around when women are eager to be with them. We're all at risk of acting on autopilot sometimes, but if this is consistently you, it's time for you to have a reality check. Show him why he's special and make a great effort to give him that attention. If you both love physical attention, plan on cuddling him and making out tonight, all right? Or the next time you have sex, really psych yourself up for it. Get in a mood and try to pleasure him as best as you can. Enthusiasm just extends beyond physical needs. For example, consider planning out an elaborate date to a place you know he would love. Or on your way home from work, you could pick up his favorite dessert randomly. Just let him know that you were thinking of him, all right? Quality is usually more important than quantity. We're all busy and it's unrealistic to be infatuated 24/7. But making genuine attempts to make him feel special will always be appreciated. Number 14, give him undivided attention. You can't expect to unleash the hero instinct if you're always distracted or bored. Likewise, if you don't really listen to him, he's going to feel like he doesn't matter. So as much as possible, make it a priority to be present in your relationship. If you're pressed for time, schedule conversations in advance. All right. Even just setting aside 5 or 10 minutes to catch up with one another can make a significant difference in your relationship. You know, your man needs to know that you're engaged. Your man needs to know that you're listening and you're attentive to him. He needs to know that he can count on you. So model active listening as much as possible. Put down your phone. Avoid interrupting. Limit external distraction. If you don't understand something, ask for clarification. Reflect on what he says and integrate any feedback accordingly. Because the more that you can show him that his needs matter, the more likely he is to stick with you. Number 15, know what makes him feel loved. Your love language refers to how you most feel connected. For example, some people value quality time together. Others prioritize acts of service like doing the dishes or washing the car. Others feel most loved by receiving special gifts. To be honest with you, there are no right or wrong languages, but it's a good idea to know your partner. You may be able to guess, but if you aren't sure, you could just ask what their love languages are. Now, once you have the information, you also need to consider how you can play up his love language as often as possible. For instance, if he loves acts of service, think about small, tangible steps you could take to make his life easier. Maybe it's doing an extra load of laundry or filling his car with gas. If he values physical affection, then consider how you can implement more touch when you're with each other. For example, maybe you will choose to hold his hand when you do errands together, or you could scratch his back when you're watching a movie. Furthermore, there is a good chance that you already know some specific things that make him feel loved. Maybe he gets super excited when you make a specific recipe, or he gets really happy when you wear his favorite dress and do your hair. What I'm trying to say is that you need to make an effort to prioritize more of these feel-good activities into your routine. He will definitely feel appreciated and special. See, all relationships are different, so it isn't fair to assume every couple benefits from the hero instinct, all right? As humans, right, I think that we're incredibly nuanced and we all have unique needs. That said, you need to realize that both men and women like to feel needed and important in their relationship. They value feeling special among their loved ones. They want to know their internal strengths matter. Therefore, it doesn't hurt to try to embrace the hero instinct. If you feel like it's lacking in your relationship, it might be worth trying to trigger it. It could unlock a new set of motives for your man. It may also help you both feel recognized and acknowledged and important in your relationship. So these are some of the ways that you can trigger your man's hero instinct and make that relationship just pop and become much more stable than you ever thought it was. All right, then, thank you so much. If you watched till this end, comment, tell me how much of a trigger of his hero instinct you've been able to start. Until I come your way, don't forget that I love you.